Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Shukamukhatamritatravasam yutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Papa Pranashanam Pranama Dukkha Shamana Tam Namami Harim Param. We're reading from the first canto. Help me mention the exact shloka we are reading, please.
23. 23, Prabhuji.
23, okay. I think we finished 23. We finished 23, at least that much I remember. So we can go to the 24th one. Pārthivād dāruṇo dhūmas tasmād agnis trayīmayaḥ tamasas tasmāt sattvaṁ yad brahma-darśanam pārthivād dāruṇo dhūmas tasmād agnis trayīmayaḥ tamasas tasmāt sattvaṁ yad brahma-darśanam. Okay.
Pārthivād tasmād agnis trayīmayaḥ tamasas tasmāt sattvaṁ yad brahma-darśanam. Pārthivād dhūmas tasmād agnis trayīmayaḥ Tamasastu rajas tasmāt. Tamasastu rajas tasmāt. Sattvaṁ yat brahma-darśanam. Sattvaṁ yat brahma-darśanam. Pārthivād dāruṇo dhūmas. Pārthivād dāruṇo dhūmas. Tasmād agnis trayīmayaḥ. Tasmād agnis trayīmayaḥ. Tamasastu rajas tasmāt. Tamasastu rajas tasmāt. Sattvaṁ yat brahma-darśanam. Sattvaṁ yat brahma-darśanam.
Pārthivād dāruṇo dhūmas.
Pārthivād dāruṇo dhūmas.
tasmād agnis trayīmayaḥ.
Tasmād agnis trayīmayaḥ.
Tamasastu rajas tasmāt.
Tamasastu rajas tasmāt.
sattvaṁ yat brahma-darśanam.
Sattvaṁ yat brahma-darśanam.
Pārthivād dāruṇo dhūmas.
Pārthivād dāruṇo dhūmas.
tasmād agnis trayīmayaḥ.
Tasmād agnis trayīmayaḥ.
Tamasastu rajas dhūmas.
Tamasastu rajas tasmāt.
sattvaṁ yat brahma-darśanam.
Sattvaṁ yat brahma-darśanam.
Pārthivād,
Pārthivād.
from earth.
Dāruṇo.
Dāruṇah,
Dāruṇo.
firewood.
Firewood.
Dhūmah,
Dhūmas.
smoke.
Smoke.
Tasmād,
Tasmāt.
from that.
From that.
Agnihi,
Agni.
fire.
Fire.
Trayi,
Trayīmayaḥ.
Vedic sacrifices.
Vedic sacrifice.
Mayaha, made of. Tamasaha,
Tamasas.
in the mode of ignorance.
Mode of ignorance.
Two,
True.
but. Rajaha,
Raja.
mode of passion.
Mode of passion.
Tasmāt,
From
from that.
that.
Sattvaṁ,
Sattvaṁ.
the mode of goodness.
The mode of goodness.
Yat,
Yet.
which.
Which.
Brahma, the absolute truth.
Absolute.
Darshanam, realization. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Firewood is a transformation of earth, but smoke is better than the raw wood, and fire is still better. For by fire we can derive the benefits of superior knowledge through Vedic sacrifices. Similarly, passion, rajas, is better than ignorance or tamas. But goodness is best, because by goodness one can come to realize the absolute truth. Purport, as explained above, get released from the conditioned life of material existence by devotional service to the personality of Godhead. It is further comprehended herein that one has to rise to the platform of the mode of goodness so that one can be eligible for the devotional service of the Lord. But if there are impediments in the progressive path, anyone can, even from the platform of tamas, can gradually rise to the sattva platform by the expert direction of the spiritual master. Sincere candidates must, therefore, approach an expert spiritual master for such a progressive march. And the bona fide expert spiritual master is competent to direct a disciple from any stage of life, tamas, rajas, or sattva. It is a mistake, therefore, to consider that worship of any quality or any form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is equally beneficial. Except Vishnu, all forms are separated, being manifested under the conditions of material energy. And therefore, these forms of material energy cannot help one rise to the platform of pure goodness or sattva, which alone can liberate a person from material bondage. The uncivilized state of life, or the life of the lower animals, is controlled by the mode of tamas. The civilized life of man with a passion for various types of material benefits is in the stage of rajas. The rajas stage of life gives a slight clue to the realization of the absolute truth in the forms of fine sentiments in terms of philosophy, art, culture with moral and ethical principles. But the mode of sattva is still a higher stage of the material quality, which actually helps one realizing the absolute truth. In other words, the qualitative difference between the different kinds of worshipping methods as well as respective results derived from the predominating deities, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Hara. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshu Unnilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manodrishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Pradhanahya Nidati Swabdantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Vitapatam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Badan Sagana Lita Shri Vishakant हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका राधा कांतरमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो नमो नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णं प्रेमये भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं श्रीहरिः ओं तत्सत्. Thank you for joining Sunday morning. I already mentioned previously that externally it might appear there are many people in control. But on a granular level, actually, what is actually controlling things? Just like talk about right now, everyone is talking about agentic AI, right? Agentic AI, you know what agentic AI is like? There are agents running in the background, right? They can respond to your email, they can respond to a support ticket, they can do all sorts of things in the whole workflow and create agentic workflows. And there are multiple agents working in the background. That's what ChatGPT is doing. Right? There are agents running in the background, and you don't see them. It appears that ChatGPT is a person talking to you, but actually there are agents running in the background, interacting with each other, exchanging information, and it gives you the feeling of, as if a person exists at the forefront, doing all these things. So in one sense, from the understanding of Bhagavatam, we can say at this point, it's not forever. Our intelligence right now is like that of an agentic AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, our intelligence is in one sense artificial because our intelligence is actually being run by the three modes of material nature in the background. Okay, and these gunas make people act differently. Suddenly they will act as friends. Suddenly they will act as enemies. Suddenly they will say, Prabhu, no one is like you. And suddenly they will not even, care. Suddenly, Mataji, great, right? Or, everyone, including like the whole from Abhrama Vanalokaha, Punaravartinu Arjuna, topmost to the bottommost, everyone actually is actually a function of the modes. See, Bhagavatam is a scientific treatise. Scientific means it cares about what is actually happening in the background. Okay? It cares about the science of the processes that are happening that makes people act the way they do, how's the world functioning, who are the devatas. We are talking about really what is scientifically happening, real science, void of all feelings. Okay? We can have so many feelings about so many things. So, but if one is interested to know reality, Bhagavatam is presenting a beautiful shloka again. What the shloka is saying is that, see, there is earth. Earth is the last stage of manifestation of this whole creation. In earth, you have smell. What is this? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. So Gandha is there, Rasa is there. There is also taste. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa. There is Rupam also in earth. Right? There is some Rupam in earth. Correct? And then there is also Sparsha. With earth, I can experience the sensation of Sparsha. And there is also Shabda in earth element. Now, if you go one element little up, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa. So in water, if I go, there is no Gandham in water. Water doesn't have any smell. Or anything connected to water doesn't have any smell. If you see some water, if smell in water, then it is due to the association of the earth element that there is smell. No, not smell. Rasam. Rasam, any taste that you see in water, right, is because of
association.
yeah. And earth element gives, as I said, is what gives Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandham. Right, like just like when there is a nice rain on the earth, you get some Gandham. The Gandham that is present within the earth you can feel, right? Because the water doesn't have any Gandham, but when it touches the earth element, you experience some Gandham. Or anything that is made of form has a certain essence of Gandham. All chemicals that you see on the periodic table. So the periodic table that we have in chemistry is one way of arranging matter. Like if someone looked at the periodic table, they will say, this is all matter is. Right? There is sulfur, there is this, there is these type of elements, there are noble elements. So that is one way of seeing this material energy. Right? In terms of how it behaves as earth. So within this earth, you are segregating. But when you have to go a little finer, when you want to go from the 100-foot level, you can't look at sulfur and why is iron behaving like this and this like that. Like you can't look at in so much detail. So you have to say a little more generically, right? And those are earth elements which have the sense of Gandham. There is water that has the sense of Rasam, and then there is Agni, which has the sense of Rupam. Without Agni, you can't have Rupam. For instance, there is no lamp in your house. For instance, and what happens? There is earth has some Rupam. Say if it has some Rupam. Now you can't access that Rupam. And Shabda, Sparsha, Rupam. So Rupam can be accessed only in Agni. Agni only reveals the Rupam. So in the whole creation, if you see, I think I presented this some time ago. I don't know if you remember. I can try to present it again if you are for clarity. How creation happens. You remember, right? I presented once. See, I'm going readily in front of me. I'm trying my luck. I don't see a very authentic, nice presentation. Yeah, I don't see a very good summary. Okay. So my point is, so this whole thing is an evolution. Okay. So what you think you are right now, it can evolve. It can evolve. We are not static. Okay. First of all, this is the most important takeaway for us, that we would like to think of ourselves as a static being. Okay. Because we associate with the guna and we start thinking that guna is me. So when you what do you say? I don't know if there is a word such as that, but when you staticify your life, right? Which means you think of yourself as like, this is me. me waking up at this time, me eating like this, me watching this, you kind of get a little depressed. Why? Because you're associating with a guna, and not just that, you're accepting that association to be your nature itself. You're accepting within yourself that this is what it means to be Jai Sachinandana Krsna Dāsa. This is what it means to be Pradyum. This is what it means to be Indrasen. You're associating with yourself like that. And when we associate with something that is tamasic, we become depressed. When we associate with something rajasic, we feel passionate, curious. A lot of feelings come. So everyone in this world thinks of themselves as being something very static. So Bhagavatam is beautifully trying to present to us how whatever we see in this world is actually evolving. Just like there is earth, but the earth, firewood is also earth. Where does firewood come from? Earth, predominantly earth. But if the earth kept thinking that I'm earth only, no, earth is transforming into firewood. There are ways to take out the subtle element from the grass. The subtle element is there in the grass. It's like, so there is this phone. Now sound is present inside this phone. We are not saying, I am producing the sound. According to Sankhya, I mentioned this many times, the sound is present within the phone. Already the sound is there. But when I'm beating, I'm extracting that sound. That's all. I'm extracting that sound. And I beat it at a certain frequency. Similarly, there is fire element also within this phone. There is fire element within my stomach. In this way, everything is present within the earth element. Because earth is the final product. And whatever is the final product of something has the previous elements that cause that final product inherent within already. Okay, you get my point? So, is this too scientific or is it understandable? Understandable. Okay. So, fire is already present within earth. Okay. So, we should not think I'm a material body. No. You can extract more finer aspects of who you are that is present within the system. Oh, I am this body. No. You do japa, you do Bhagavatam, and there will be finer and finer and finer and finer elements that will come out of you. This is called Samudra Manthan. Right? It appears like a Samudram. But when you do Manthanam of it, then what happens? Then more and more and more and more things start coming. And many times you can even have poison out of it. Right? But the good thing is the spiritual master like Lord Shiva drinks that poison. And the last step when you do this Manthanam is when you get Amritam. So similarly, it might appear that only earth hai. Like what is there? There's earth element. But the firewood is there. Right? From firewood, you can do so many things, so many passionate activities, right? So on and so forth. And the bridge of firewood, which you can do with so many things, right? You can burn, you can cook, you can have some light, you can even, have a gas, station, a power station, right? You can combust it, you can let it run a turbine. You can do so many things with the firewood. With normal earth, not so much. It is not productionizable. Earth by itself is not productionizable because it doesn't have an aspect of rajas into it. Firewood has an aspect of rajas into it. Okay? So it is productionizable. It can create value. That's what they ask in our corporate world, right? Can you bring value? How do you bring value to your customers? Right? How do you satisfy the customer pain point? This is a rajasic problem. Right? The modern corporate world runs on the premise that anything rajasic you bring value is what success should look like. How does success look like? That is what, when you want to create a product, the question you must be asking is, how does success look like? And what does success would mean there? Again, something rajasic. Okay, coming to the point. So we are thinking that I am this body. It's a very rudimentary, rustic way of looking at things. Now, when firewood becomes more productionizable, now this firewood, and when it comes into smoke, now you're in the border of actually what do you say, rajas and sattva. There is a border, just like, I don't know if you have seen, when they are doing an ahuti or any any yajna, I don't know if you have seen the traditional way of doing it. Maybe, I don't know, I should show you. See if I can share any my YouTube screen. It'll give you a very good idea. Yeah. Because this will do justice only when you they will actually roll it like that. I'm not getting it. Let's see. So I share my screen and then you can get an idea. Okay. Screen. Okay. You can see this.
Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram.
So you see smoke coming. First smoke will come.
Jai Shri Ram.
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 Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Jai
So
Shri Ram.
it's not a full video, but I can maybe share another video. But you understand the point, correct? So first, when you try to do this way and ignite a fire, then ignite a fire. I don't know if I stopped any recording or something. It's okay. See if it's still streaming to YouTube. It is still doing. Okay, it is okay. Yeah, if I'm not, I stopped my screen share. I don't know if I scrolled something else. So the point is, the smoke comes first from the firewood, and then after the smoke comes predominantly, then fire is manifesting completely after that smoke. You get what I'm saying? The smoke is the intermediary, and then fire manifests. Complete fire, like proper fire, manifests. Right, last. Now, fire element is there within the earth, but it manifests itself better in firewood. It manifests itself better when you're trying to do the right process to extract it. Similarly, though this material nature is all, ultimately one, you could say, still there are a lot of gray areas. There is a lot of nuance. So one should not say that all devatas are the same, even amongst the devatas, because every devata is a soul who's interacting with this material nature in a certain way. So there is a Prabhupada is telling, except Vishnu, all forms are separated, being manifested under the conditions of material energy. That's like we have a condition of material energy. You're trying to do like this. So the fire is getting manifested under a certain condition of material energy. Is it not? Similarly, every devata is manifesting Vishnu. Every devata is, what is he doing? He's manifesting Vishnu only. Because they are a manifestation of Vishnu in one sense. Vibhina Rupa. But they can only manifest Vishnu conditionally. What does it mean conditionally? They can only manifest certain qualities of Vishnu in certain circumstances to certain extents. That's all. This is called gunas. Gunas means you put a condition. And when you put a condition, then you become filter it. This is material conditioning. It's like, Prabhuji, I'll be only spiritual when I'm in the temple. So we are right now able to realize our nature only within a certain condition. We're not able to be unconditional. I'm not able to be Krishna conscious when someone shouts at me. This is called material nature. It puts a condition under which I can actually be successful. I can actually be proper. Okay. So, so the point is that we should not think very cheaply with an intellectual lazy effort. It is intellectual laziness to think that what is this? Sab dharma secular and everything is the same, and sarva dharma samabhav, and like everything is the same. This is a very intellectually lazy, very lazy approach to actually what is truthful. So, if you want unconditional nature that I want to access, goodness accessed unconditionally, then the person I must worship is Vishnu. I must worship is Vishnu. By worshipping Vishnu, what happens is that the most amritam part of ourselves, what we are, that will actually manifest. We have to manifest the best part of ourselves. The best part of ourselves is that we being a part and parcel of Vishnu. That's who we are actually. It's not the best part from a very purely Vedantic perspective. That is who we are. But just for the sake of being more conversational, I'm saying that if you want to weave out, if you want to extract the saram of who we are, then we have to do the Samutra Manthan inside ourselves. Where when we worship Vishnu, then we can actually actualize our real nature. But if you are not, if you are just leaving, okay, I'll just stay the way I am. Okay, stay the way you are. But we won't be satisfied because you are accessing the grossest manifestation of the material nature, which is not even you. This is what you're accessing. Just like if you simply have, if you're sitting in a forest, all with fully firewood, like, just trees all around, you won't feel very excited because you're surrounded by something where you can't actually, you say, what will I do now? I want to do something because we have mode of passion. So we want to do something. So you want to live in a house, in a city where there is something to do, where there is something to play. Similarly, if we just surround ourselves with material entertainment facilities, which are simply in the mode of passion and ignorance, we can't realize the truth. We can't realize the truth. It's not possible. It's not possible. So, material nature is the same, but it has, you can go finer and finer and finer and finer and finer and finer and come to the point of fire. And fire can help you do Vedic yajnam, everything. So fire is very good, but you have to work to get there. Just like he was doing like this to the firewood. A lot of work required. And the firewood had spent a lot of time making it firewood. It had extracted all the finest part of the earth for the wood to become firewood. Older the tree, better the specific heat capacity. Is it not? Why is that so? You've worked hard. You've baked yourself to perfection. Right? So we should not think, okay, I put the cake on the stove, in the oven, let me see if it is ready. No, it's just been 2 minutes. You put the banana bread inside the oven. Leave it there for 30 minutes and then come back. And then you'll have a nice banana bread. So we should not think, I chanted 1 round. I've chanted 4 rounds. Kuch bhi nahi ho raha hai. Maybe chanting doesn't work. I'll read Bhagavatam. I'm attending every day. Prabhu, not happening, Prabhu. Prabhu, nothing is happening. I'm chanting. Prabhu, I'm reading Bhagavatam. Nothing is happening. Soak yourself. Bake it for 30 minutes. Then you'll have banana bread. Which means you have to let the finest part of you come out. And you must desire that. Krishna will see whether you desire. And it will come out. 100% it will come out. But we have to bake it. We have to sustain. This is the whole point. We discussed this yesterday also. We talk about these 3 examples, right? So the example of the magnet, the example of the, the steel plate, and the example of the, what is the other one? The jaundice patient. So similarly, we need to be there. We need to be there, have faith. And then what happens? We have to worship Hari. We should not live in this uncivilized state of life, which is controlled by the mode of tamas. Or whatever we are seeing in this material world, we should not be captivated by that also. All the schemes that people present in the name of advancement is all a change of form only. What mode of passion means? Change of form, but no change in substance. There are two things: form and substance. Form and substance. Rupam and vastu. So the rupam will change in this world. So rupa means, someone will say, success means it should look like this, like I was mentioning. What should it look like? Success means, we have a, like, in movies they show, right? In Rajinikanth movies, I saw, right? There is Rajinikanth is coming in this movie and he's seeing everyone. And so there are great skyscrapers, there are vehicles going here and there. And he's asking, why is India not advanced? So if you like, and then he said, no. And this Rajinikanth said, I'll come to India and we'll make it like Singapore. I'll make it like Dubai. There will be huge skyscrapers. Why is it like this, Shivaji? Like that he asks. So it's a very Rajasic idea of success. Rajasic idea of success means, see, everything has a philosophy embedded in it. Everything has a guna. No one says anything without a philosophy. You watch a movie, there are gunas there. And from that guna, there is a philosophy. Though everyone, many people, don't like ISKCON because they say, why should ISKCON preach? But who's not preaching? Who's not preaching? Everyone is preaching. Even you are preaching to me that I should not preach. Right? Everyone is preaching. Right? Everyone in this world is preaching. And a film movie industry also has a message. What is that message? Take any movie, like say Sholay. Right? So Sholay has a philosophy. What is the underpinning philosophy of Sholay? You marry Hema Malini, you'll be happy. Simple. You marry someone, I forgot the whole picture, I saw it when I was small, but I'm just giving an example, right? Every movie has an underpinning philosophy that the actor should marry the actress. If the actor marries the actress, then that is good. Now, this is based on the mode of passion and ignorance. So you're trying to convince me with a philosophy that if I marry a girl, if I marry a boy, I'll be happy. There is an underpinning philosophy which we don't look. We don't look through it, look inside it. And similarly, this political propaganda also has a philosophy behind it. What is it? That you bring a lot of social schemes. You give them something free. You build industries, you build factories. Now, whether this is right or wrong, this is another discussion. The point is, there is a philosophy here and there are assumptions baselining it. What are the assumptions? If you have a lot of factories, you'll be happy. Now, we are supposed to inherently believe that there are a lot of factories equates to prosperity, equates to sustainable living. Now, where is the proof for this information? Now, people are getting richer, there is more employment. But what happens downstream of this funnel? No one talks about it. What happens downstream? So, everything that people talk about in today's world has a philosophy behind it. So, if we are not understanding the right philosophy of Srimad Bhagavatam, someone else will fill their philosophy inside our mind. And what is the problem with that philosophy? That's what I'm bringing right now. It is simply based on form. It is based on the externals. So you can't have no philosophy in your life. That's not possible. You're already having some philosophy. Our philosophy right now is confused philosophy. But you can't say, I don't have any philosophy. At a certain point in your day, you believe in a certain philosophy. And at another point in your day, you believe in another philosophy because you're exposed to it. And in this way, everyone is trying to fight for their philosophy within your mind. Attention as a service. That's like say the DaaS, SaaS, software as a service, data as a service, right? So similarly, this is What is the Facebook's model? Attention as a service, which means like you're trying to get your attention. Why? I want you to believe in my philosophy. So someone is paying Facebook so much, I'll pay you so much. I'll push my Rajasic philosophy into the whole world. I'll push my tamasic philosophy. So everyone wants to push their philosophy, but that philosophy didn't work for them. That philosophy that they're trying to push towards others, it didn't work for them also. But in ignorance, they think they are happy. In ignorance, they think they are successful, and they're trying to push it to us. Now, our duty is to look to it more closer and understand how that's not the ultimate criteria. It's better, being Rajasic is better than lying like a dud on the sofa. Yes. Instead of lying like a dud on the sofa, it's better to go and do an AI startup. Okay, fine. It's better than being depressed. Okay, fine. Okay. But that's not that's not the standard. There is something more finer. Just like you have firewood, better than just having like a blob of earth. Yes. But there is something more finer. There is smoke, there is fire. There is an evolution. So Rajasic people simply stop and they say, what is Krishna consciousness movement doing to this world? What are you doing? What is something fruitful you are doing? And what do they mean by fruitful? Something grassy, kuch touch karna chahiye. And I want to touch it. I want palpable. What do you have? Money, this. Because their thinking is something touch and feelable is what is true. That is mode of passion. Mode of passion means whatever I can touch and feel is true. But people commit suicide not based on their bodily problems. They commit suicide because of their mental problems. So does it exist or not? It exists. So they can't understand real revolution is to actually transform the minds of people. And this is the value proposition of Krishna consciousness, to transform the minds. But they cannot understand this value proposition because their identity is very well mucked in matter. They can't understand this value proposition. They're too weak. Just like you try to sell a diamond to a beggar, he can't understand the value proposition of the diamond. He will think, can I use this to actually, pound my rice? I mean, what the heck? I mean, he can't understand the value proposition of a diamond. Similarly, people who are very Rajasic cannot understand the value proposition of devotional service to the lotus feet of the Lord. Their minds are too materialistic. Matirna Krishne Paratasvatova Mitho Bipadyeta Grahapradhanam Adanta Gobir Vishadanta Mishram Adanta Gobihi. Because their senses are very uncontrolled, they can't understand this value proposition. You must know whom to sell to whom, what to sell to whom. So Bhagavatam is actually meant for the Paramahamsas. It is a great mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that people who are duds like me are having an ability to read Srimad Bhagavatam. What to talk of reading? I'm having the chance and intelligence somehow bestowed upon me to speak on it for some time. This is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's the mercy of the spiritual master. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langagate girim yat kripatam ham bande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam. So one must understand this mercy where we are having this opportunity to extract the finest aspect of me and then live in that state of existence. And when we live in that state of existence, we will be thoroughly enthralled, we'll be thoroughly enlivened. And if we reduce ourselves to this gross state of matter and we think that is all there is to me, you know what? That is true. That is all there is to me. We will believe that way and we will die a sorry death. You see what I'm saying? So we should, in all earnestness, take to the devotional service of the Lord. And if we don't take this, we are actually reducing ourselves. So this European civilization, which is all basically what American all about, it's based on the mode of passion. It's based on the mode of passion. Create more, consume more. Create more, consume more. Change form from one state to another state. This is based on the mode of passion. It is there in one form. I change it into another form. I create value, and then I extract money based on the value I create. That's all. This whole business model itself, what people think in terms of when they see something. A businessman always thinks in terms of how can I create value out of this, and then how can I get more money. His mind immediately springs like that. As soon as he sees something, how do I create value? What is the business model? What is where does he get money? Is he making money because he's going at scale and he's not going at scale? And immediately it thinks in terms of these things. Why? Mode of passion. So, my dear devotees, not all of us look at the world the same way. It's not the same world. Okay? And you are not the person who think yourself to be. Actually, no one knows who you are. Indrasen Prabhu's Praisdar boss will look at him differently. His friends will look at him differently. His Marathi friends will look at him differently. It's different. Now, who's this person? You yourself look at you differently. So everything is being governed by the modes, and modes are conditioning us, right? And basically, what I'm trying to bring forth is, just to conclude, is there is the right we think, the success we think, quote unquote, we think there is only one definition of success, one, like, this is who's me. Like, this is a conditioning, is what I'm trying to say. It's a conditioning. Conditioning means what? By prolonged association with people in a certain mode, we have borrowed that type of a thinking. And when we borrow a certain type of thinking, we will react to every circumstance in the same way. We react to people in a certain way. We react to employees in a certain way. In this way, our reaction becomes very automated. And we legitimize it. We legitimize it by upkeeping, by maintaining that same association, which legitimize that illusion. That's just like when you keep on logging to LinkedIn, you legitimize the illusion that corporate advancement is the goal of life. Your illusion will be legitimized. Because you're associating with it, your illusion will be maintained. And because your illusion will be maintained, your outlook will also be maintained. So, what will we do now? Penetrate, drill down. There is water underneath your house. You don't have to starve out of, be thirsty, going thirsty. Drill down, take a bore well, drill down the earth. Of course, I don't suggest it. Drilling down bhumi is actually one of the ugra karmas, actually. Though people do deep bore well, it's actually ugra karma. So to drill the earth for mining, for all of these things, it's actually ugra karma. That's what Hiranyaksha did, right? So one should not drill the earth. It's papam. Actually, even to step on the earth, one actually offers obeisances. Say, sorry, I'm stepping on you. But right now, to drill Bhumi Devi is actually a great sin. So because oil came out of the sinful action, now, again, rajasic people will not believe in this, right? But because it came out, there is so much fight in the name of oil. Because it came from something that is very rajasic and tamasic. It is an act of an asura or rakshasa to actually steal the earth and to exploit the resources of earth for one's own material enjoyment. And this is what we are doing. Everything that we are using is petrol. Our tires made of petrol. Our Vaseline made of petrol. Right? Everything, plastic, rubber, neoprene, everything comes from remnants of petrol. Everything around you is made of petrol. What we are wearing, mostly here or some 50-60% of the things are made of petrol. So it is based on exploitation, a sense of exploitation. And that sense of exploitation percolates. And so, anyway, but if you use it strictly for Krishna's service, then the sense of, though this came from the sense of exploitation, this will be purified actually. But if you don't, then what happens? We will become entangled in this complexity. We will also become entangled. And how do you know you're entangled? You'll keep watching someone's fighting. You keep watching news, that means you're getting entangled in someone's fighting. I have to meditate. I have to meditate on someone fighting. That's it. Everyone is forced to meditate. When US and Iran fights, everyone is meditating on it for a long time. You're becoming conditioned now. You're becoming a part of the fight. Even when you are eating popcorn, looking at someone's fight, No one, you can't stay out of touch. At some point, you'll have to take sides. So people say, let me eat some popcorn and take, just watch the fight. No, you can't do that. You'll have to take sides. And when you take sides, you'll become entangled. Right? If you don't have an attitude of service, when you look at a situation, service to the Lord, you can't simply watch popcorn and be an onlooker. Only Krishna is the drashta. You can't be a drashta. When we try to take the position of Krishna, right, we say, sometimes people say, in Facebook comments or YouTube comments, now two people have started fighting, now I'm going to eat popcorn. Right? Not possible, sir. You'll have to take sides. You'll get entangled in the whole discussion. And you'll have to meditate on that fighting. And you'll have to think who's wrong, why is right. Unnecessarily, you have to get into this complexity of taking sides where you have nothing to do with it. Anyway, we could speak so much on this in terms of social discourse on how modes are functioning and how everyone is getting entangled, right? The less spoken, the better actually. But what to do? Everyone is doing so many things other than Krishna consciousness. And so we have to talk about it to expose the complexities that arise out of it, right? So better, if we can actually completely focus all our energy, all our time. What is the point of the stock? The point of the stock is that we can be motivated to give up these false motivations to perpetuate this illusion, and then to engage in Krishna consciousness more wholeheartedly. Do more things, prioritize more of your time, do more rounds, do more reading, do more chanting. What else will we do? People say, why, don't give me Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't know if I will read it or not. Why don't you read? What else will you do? Just bore yourself to illusion again, be born again. Why? Why not read Bhagavatam? What else will we do with this life, this valuable life? Right? So we should not waste this life. Manifest your real nature. Don't be satisfied. Don't be depressed with yourself that I feel very bad, I'm this. No, don't be depressed. What you are feeling is maybe a tamasic association we have had. Associate with Krishna, associate with the Lord, associate with devotees. Future is very bright. There is a lot of hope, right? Lot of hope. Just like fire manifests from earth. So much hope from fire. Similarly, we can also have the fire of knowledge. Jnana agnihi dagda karmanam tamahu panditam buddhaha. Jnana agni. They can also have jnana agni. Right? So I'll stop here. Any questions or comments are welcome.
Probably might already covered some.
Not able to hear very well.
Any better now, Prabhuji?
Little better, yes. Prabhu.
Probably might have already covered. I'll be a little louder. If it is too loud, let me know. I'll tone it down. I think, sorry, I'm just trying to understand the verse here. So is earth considered as I don't know, is it the analogy here, the shloka? Earth is considered as tamas, smoke as a rajas, and then fire is a sattva. Is that the true understanding?
Yeah, you could say like that. Firewood is more rajas, like I told. Earth is more tamas. Firewood is a little rajas. Firewood and smoke is like the border, you could say. Smoke is like abhas of the fire. So when you get a little realization, hey, you know what? I want to come to the class maybe. It's like a smoke. So, and then when you keep on churning, you don't stop at the smoke. Some people, when they get it, like stop at the smoke. Keep on, and then boom, that is fire. Right. So that's the fire. So the thing is, sattvaṁ yad brahma-darśanam. So when there is sattva guna, automatically brahma-darśanam will happen. So our feelings are based on the gunas we have. So we are what we feel. Who are you? Your feeling is who you are. You can be in the US, but who are you? You are feeling. Simple. I'm in Bay Area. I'm the CEO of Apple, but who are you? Very simple. Practically speaking, of course, we have a spiritual understanding when we come to the final point. But realistically, right now, here and now, who am I? How I feel. Now, Shastra is saying, sattvaṁ yad brahma-darśanam. If you're situated yourself in sattva guna, brahma-darśanam, you can see the supreme absolute truth, Brahma. You can see the greatest. Brahma means Brihat Vastu. You can see the greatest thing when you are in sattva guna. And when you see something very great, what will happen? You'll become enthralled, ecstatic. Is it not? So don't worry so much about your feeling. Don't feel about your feeling so much. Don't have feelings about your feelings. Right? Your feelings are right now your result of your association. Don't worry. So it's a very optimistic. So just associate, have the right association, and see how magic happens. Just see the magic. Sattvaṁ yad brahma-darśanam. So by sattva guna, sattvad sanjayate. Hey, sattva sanjayate jnanam da. Sattva sanjayate jnanam. So here he says sattva sanjayate kamam. Right? So we are thinking like that. So rajaso lobha evacha. Right? So from Rajoguna, then Lobham. So feelings are coming from Gunas. If you understand the single point, you'll have a lot of motivation. You'll have a lot of enthusiasm. Single point. Your feelings are not you. Your feelings are because you touched something too long. Or you touched something different. Something higher. Not different actually. Touch something higher. And then you'll feel different. If you start touching something tamasic, you'll feel different. You keep on touching Instagram, touch. And I'm not able to stop touching. Go to a place where no one touches this. Associate with devotees. Go and sit in the kirtan for 12 hours. Or go and do service for 4 hours. Go get out of the house. Don't stay in the house. Get out of the house. Go to the temple. Go to the farm. Wherever you go and associate with devotees. Right? If you want to travel somewhere, okay, attend Sunday program here and go to Columbus, attend Sunday program there, another Sunday. Drive to Cincinnati. Do something, but associate with devotees. Right? Somehow, we need to change our association. That's the point. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. If no one has any more questions, thank you for your time. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। आनंद कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री वैष्णव ठाकुर की जय।
In the call.
So, you can see